Hello and welcome to another tutorial video. Today we are going to be looking at part 2 of Unit 11, which is on the idea of sequences and also centering around the 6 chord, the 3 chord, and the 7 chord in a major and a minor key. And this is a tutorial to help supplement the Celebrate Harmony Level 9 theory course offered through the Royal Conservatory of Music. In the first part of this tutorial, we spoke about the 3, the 6, and the 7 chords and how they work within a tonal hierarchy. So this means that there are certain chords and an order of importance, with the tonic and the dominant being the strongest chords in any scale, major or minor. And then the 4 chord is following that, just as strong, not as strong as 5, but very close. Then we follow that with the 2 chord, and then we have 3, 6, and 7. Now where we can leave off, where we left off was how to use those chords in a major key, but we can also use them in a minor key as well. Something that is interesting is that when we are in any minor key, the 6 chord is major. So for example, in the key of C minor, the 6th note would be A flat. And if we play the notes in that key, A flat, C, E flat, we have a major triad. If we have the 3 chord in a minor key using the harmonic minor scale, we would actually create an augmented chord. So it's used very sparingly or not as often. Traditionally, we can use the 3 chord as a major triad in which the subtonic, or the lowered 7th note of the scale, is included to create a more consonant or pleasing sounding chord. Now something that's very interesting is something about the topic of the diatonic fifths sequence. Now the diatonic fifths sequence is a sequence in which all the chords in a particular key are used all the way through without any kind of importance, because a sequence basically means a repeated section of a piece of music in which the chords and melody are all consistently played in a particular pattern or in a particular way. Now, if we think of the piece Angels We Have Heard on High, which is a very famous Christmas carol, there's the Gloria section. And you can hear how that beautiful piece of music really has an interesting pattern to it, especially the first half of that phrase. We have a part that starts off on the 5th note of the scale, and then it goes up and then down a small scale pattern, but then it lands on the 4th note of the scale in the sense of scale degree 4. Then it goes up 1 note, down a scale pattern, then it goes to the 3rd scale degree, up 1 note, down a scale pattern, and then with the sequence finishes. And you can hear how it's, if we know and or have been familiar to sing this piece, it's got a beautiful melody. Now the chord changes also have a certain pattern as well. This is called the diatonic fifths sequence. This is where we have 1 chord that is then followed by another chord that is a 5th below. So if we start on F, then we can go to a 5th down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes in the scale, to B flat, which is the 4th note of the scale. Then we can go down 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to E. Then we can go down 5 notes to A, and so on. Now, of course, when we do that literally down a 5th each time, we cover a lot of piano keyboard or instrument range. And so an easy way to have the same chord progression, but also while staying within an octave of playing, is when we have 1 chord going down a fifth, then up a fourth, down a fifth, up a fourth, down a fifth, up a fourth, down a fifth. So you can hear how we have a sequence where the first two notes are an interval of a fifth, then we actually transpose or move down one note and do the same thing again. So the diatonic fifth sequence is always the same. It's the same chord progression. 1, 4, 7, then 3, then 6, 2, then 5, and then 1. In this particular example, the entire progression and all the chords within it are included. But sometimes composers can just use a short amount of the progression and still have a diatonic fifths sequence. You'll also notice how in this particular example, the chord progression in the right hand is also transported down or moved down, transposed down one note each time, so that the voice leading is the same. That's what helps to create a sequence sound. Now, when we are in a major key, the 7 chord is diminished, the 3 chord is minor, the 6 chord is minor. But in a minor key, this is where it becomes interesting. Because the diatonic scale is a scale that has a melodic minor or harmonic minor possibility, we can change the notes around. But diatonic technically means keeping the original or maintaining the same original grouping of notes. So in the diatonic fifths sequence, we use the natural minor scale instead of harmonic or melodic. So in this case then, the chords will be altered so that we have the 7 chord, 3 chord, and 6 chord all being major chords to follow the key. That is a very interesting pattern, as you can see right here. In the key of C minor, we go 1, 4, which is minor, then 7 is major, 3 is major, 6 is major, 2 is diminished, then 5 going to 1. So it's a very nice progression. I do hope this information is helpful, just to give a little bit of an explanation to see how the diatonic sequence works, the diatonic fifth sequence. This is a sequence that is used as a pattern in compositions and also helps to really highlight each chord equally in a scale, including the 3, the 6, and the 7. Thank you so very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time for another tutorial video. Until we see each other, take care for now.